Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Raptor X here with Raptor X Games. Welcome back. We are once again in Star Citizen 4.7. This is the live version, of course. Let's see here. I rebound the button last night. There we go. And so we are going to be taking out the Miss Prospector today. Let me scroll all the way down there. That's one of the disadvantages, I suppose, of having more money than you know what to do with. You go out and buy every single ship in the game and then go, oh boy, I've got a long list. I think I'm probably going to end up rebinding this because that's mildly annoying. Let's see here. We've got Arcana, we've got a Zenith Sniper Rifle. So check and see. Alright, we've just got the cameo. Okay. I don't have anything for missions. Let me just check and see if I've got any mining gadgets. I don't think I had any saved. Of course, we're not seeing some of these because they've yet to properly implement them. It doesn't look like we do. Sustenance and vehicles. Mining? Yeah, no, this is all just vehicle stuff. Turn that off and there we go. We'll just see if I've got any gadgets. It doesn't look like it. Okay. Alright, we will just go with this then and what we've loaded onto the Prospector. I am mining today with a Helix 1 mining head. And I've got a I believe a Stampede and a Focus 3 module that I've put onto here. I've also put this this Outlaw paint on it, which was something that I acquired with the, I think it was the Fight for Pyro? Whatever one where we had to get the, this wasn't Dynaplex. Anyway, there was some highly valuable materials that you could get in Pyro at some of the different random outposts. I think there were like 6 of them. Anyway, and you could pick that stuff up and then take it and deliver it. And once you delivered some 3200 SCU or something, it gave you this setup, the skins for a couple of different things. So, all right, let's go ahead and get out of New Babbage. Go ahead and we'll just put all of this into that and into weapons. I went ahead and put some light strike cannons on the front of this thing. Just in case I get into some sort of combat, which the Prospector is really not something that you want to get into combat with. Although it feels like they have done a pretty decent job at giving it some armor or a little bit more durability. At least when you're doing the NPC Prospector killing, they do take a little while to actually knock out. Alright. Go ahead and we will... Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and jump out to Calliope? Let me take a look here. I'm going to be mining for some Hephestaenite and for some iron today. There we go. Iron, Hephestaenite, Quantanium, ice. So we do want to go to Calliope then. Alright. Here we go. Hephestaenite and Iron are major components in a lot of the basic weapons. And so... oh goodness. Let me see here. Mining facility. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and jump around here. I believe this is going to be over on the light side of things. It might just be... no, that's on the dark side. So, alright, well, we'll have some good contrast then for our mining activities today. Alright, and I'm just going to head straight down here because it looks like there are several different signatures here. Gotta be careful not to come in at too high a rate of speed because Calliope doesn't have a whole lot of atmosphere to slow me down. A lot of signatures here, excellent. Turn on coupled mode here. Okay, so it looks like we've got some hand minables there. I'm going to go ahead and we'll just kind of look around here a little bit and see if we can find... there's some more there. There are a lot of hand minables now. Glycosite, which I want to say that was something that we were going to need for making armor, so I don't think I have any mining tools on me. But yeah, that is a lot of glycosite. I'm probably way too powerful. Focus 3, oh, Rigo C3. Yeah, way too powerful to have any hope of cracking something like this. Just gonna take it. Oh yeah. Nope, that's just gonna blow up. Alright. Way too powerful for a ship, for a mining laser. Alright, so we're gonna kind of jump around a little bit and see what we can see as far as minables here. Unfortunately, it feels like they've really increased the amount of hand minables, and they are popping up literally everywhere. And so actually finding a ship mineable now feels less common than finding one with finding a hand mineable one. That one's probably another hand mineable. These might both be. Oh, hang on. No, here's Hephestaenite. Alright. Let's go ahead then and we'll see what we can do here with this Hephestaenite. I'm going to go ahead and swap over to SCM. And... goodness. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn on lamp. And we'll just see what we can find and what we can mine. Alright, so we've still got high Hephestaenite. I want to see here too, someone was saying that if you turn off, oops, that if you turn off the advanced HUD, configuration, HUD, advanced HUD SCM, that it can make it a little easier. Yeah, it really doesn't. It really doesn't do much. Let's try labels, turning that off. Nope, it doesn't do anything. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and then, oops, we'll take a look. Over here, that's 5. Is that 567? Yeah, I want to say that's 567. So I'm not going to bother with that one. $512, I think. I've definitely got to rebind this key. It's a little... Yeah, I think that's 512, so we won't bother with that one either. I'm really looking for something that is 600 or better. 506, 586. Somewhere in that range, and I think that one's going to be way too big. Challenging. 503, 583. Pretty sure that's a 5. Maybe 503, so really not even worth cracking at that point. It doesn't give us enough of a bump. 567. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and we'll extract this since it's... Alright. Yeah, 567. Okay. See if we can put this over a light background and see if that makes it any easier to read. $512. $506. That might be a little higher. Let's see if we can crack this one. Go ahead and drop the landing gear here just quickly, just to give us a little less. Oh goodness! All right. Bring this all the way down. There we go. And I'm going to turn off lamp as well, because that's very bright. There we go. Get this over here into optimal range. And we'll just back out and increase the laser. No resistance with the Hephestaenite, so that's... Looks like it kind of stays right at about 50%. He's a little closer here. Whoa, 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 whoa. There's quite a bit of instability though. Helps having a decent server this time. There we go. It seems like the explosion radius on this is still super long. Alright, so this one's got a decent amount of the higher grade stuff, 15%. 15%. That one's got mostly silicon as far as the 638. That's got, what is that, 10%? A lot of inert. %, again. Hephestaenite's one of those things though that goes into a lot of ballistic ammo. That one's the lower quality stuff, it looks like. 100% raw. Yeah, alright. So we're going to leave that one alone. And we're going to leave that one alone. That one's got most of the silica in it, so I'm just going to go ahead and take that one as well. Because that'll give us a decent amount of 638, halfway decent silicon, if we end up ever needing that for something. There we go. And then this has got .506. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with that one. I'm just gonna slurp this one here, and we'll just check and see if that is indeed a 506. What? It never showed up. Let's grab this one as well and see. Oh, that's not going to be very useful. Yeah, 506. Alright, so we're not going to bother with any of that then. Let's take a look at this one here quickly and see. Yeah, I don't think that's worth doing either. 503. And that'll be 289. Okay, so we're not going to bother with any of that. We've got maybe a teeny tiny bit. Let's go ahead and... Oops. There we go. And go ahead and see what we've got out of... I've got a landing gear down still. See what we've got out of this one. $17.20. I feel like that's definitely a couple of hand minables there. We'll kind of check each of these and see what we're looking at here. Raw ice. Raw ice. I've not found anything that actually needs the raw ice yet, so we'll just leave that there. We might actually have a mineable deposit here, given the spread on it. Let's go see. Raw Hephestaenite. Alright. Might actually have a couple of of ground mineables here. There we go. Alright, let's see what we've got out of these ones. $503? Sure that's a 503, we won't bother with that one either. $547. It's got some. $534. $579? That might be worth a crack. $574 with that one as well. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and we'll grab this since it's free. One and a bit SCU. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to change this back and see. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Yeah, unfortunately we're only seeing the very lowest tiers on those. Alright. Let's go ahead and we'll move this back over to fraction mode here. And we'll see where our initial energy input is. There we go, somewhere around 39-40% we're seeing increases. Maybe 37 is holding still. Whoa, that was a big jump. Got the wind drifting me here, so there we go. We're just going to ease this up into the green. There we go. And then we're just going to really gently move this around in here. Excellent. Alright. That was a very nice crack. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and we'll take this one because it's got 19% of the higher grade. Take a look at this one. That one's... Ooh. Nope, they've both got... Okay, that one's 100% low grade. That one's also 100% low grade. That's also low grade. That's quartz. Also low grade. So, unless we've got anything in these other ones over here. Yep, there we go. There's a little bit. It looks like these are really the only ones that we're interested in taking. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll take some of that. We've still got plenty of room. Unfortunately, like, you know, there's no reason to crack under 500. And so it's 573. There we go. 579. Sorry, 273. Yeah, 273 for the lower grade stuff. Yeah, unfortunately there's just a lot of junk rock now. You can always sell this stuff if you wish to, but a lot of times there's really not enough to bother cracking a rock open. Alright. And swap back over to nav mode here. And oh, we've got some more Hephestaenite. Let's go ahead and pop over here and see what we can see. Nice thing about the Prospector is it's got enough engine thrust to make getting around and finding stuff relatively quick. So that's 515. So we're not going to bother with that one either. Hephestaenite really, at least in Stanton, 561. How many SCU? 13? 4%, so we're not even going to get a full SCU out of that. At least on Calliope it feels like there's a lot of low quality 511, a lot of low quality ore. 592? That might be worth a crack. 42 SCU. $539. Alright, so we're not going to bother with that. That's 501 quartz. Alright, let's go ahead and we'll see if we can crack this one. We should be able to. Get into range here. Alright, there's our optimal range. And go ahead and we'll start cranking up the laser here and we'll just see where we start to get any movement. %. Oh, there we go. Instability is a bit higher than I'd like. Let's go ahead and we'll just bump up the power here just a little. Whoa! There we go. Alright. Let's go ahead and see what we've gotten out of any of this. Yeah, we've got a torque imbalance now. Is that 505? I think that's 505. We're not going to bother with that. Anytime you get like 100% like that, it's almost always the poor quality ore now. Alright, we're not going to bother on that one either. That one should have a little bit in it. 592, 11%. So it's 0.6. That's worth a crack. Let's bring our laser power all the way down. See where we start to get any movement out of this. 72. Alright. And crank this all the way up. Oop, that's... Alright, we're going to see if we can cozy right up to this one. There we go, and we'll put a decent amount of power into our shielding now. And we might just see if we can range control this one. Oh, the drift is... kind of bad out here. Goodness. This one's going to be a touchy one. There we go. There we go. Alright. Let's see if we've got out of this. 505. There we go, 21%. Oop. Swap over to extraction mode. We'll go ahead and crack. Go ahead and take that out. There we go. And let's see what we've got out of this one. That one's got some of the higher quality as well, so we'll go ahead and grab that. That one does also. It is not, and neither does that one. Alright. Do a little bit of further scanning here and just see if there's anything else worth taking. No. No. And no. Alright. Well, I think that's going to be it for today's video. So I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to see about bed logging around here. We do have a couple of signatures over here that I'm interested in. But because we're in the Prospector, it's got an internal bed, which means I can... Ooh, lots of Hephestaenite over here as well. Means I can just land and log out and be right back in the area for mining in the next video. Or if I get on, I'll probably end up getting on tomorrow morning and seeing what we can find. 550. There's just so little ore that's actually got any real value to it. There's still a lot of stuff that's barely into the 500s. And of course the UI that we can only see, you know, the last little bit makes that quite painful. 549, but there's not enough of it to really even bother cracking it. Impossible? What do you mean impossible? 552. And it looks like that's 515 as well, so... Alright, well that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. Take care, and I will see you all in the next one. Ta-ta.